the children who are right now still locked in the dark or tied up with the animals or wherever they are and whatever they have to go through, whatever they are waiting for, however this day will pan out for them. I know that my voice can make a difference, and I'm not going to keep quiet, and I need to use my voice for that.
Wewe ni Bwana, unaweza. Wewe ni Bwana, unaweza. Wewe ni Bwana, unaweza. Wewe ni Bwana, unaweza. Tunalitukuza jina lako, tunauinua uweza wako. Tunalitukuza jina lako, tunauinua uweza wako.
This is the third part of my story, part 3, and it's about Featherstale. Obviously, I haven't spoken about Featherstale much yet, and I remember when I first came to Tanzania, when I was there for the month before I moved there was just 8 children living in Featherstale, and there was just like a couple of people around, and it was like very small and like a little family. It was beautiful. And I remember that one day one of the special needs children got changed, and she was a little girl who was living there with her sister. And I remember that her nappy got changed, and I could see her belly and her whole body, how small she was, and how like she was 7 years of age at that point, and she looked to me like a 2-year-old. And that really, it broke my heart to see her, like how fragile she was and how small and how malnourished she was. And like her legs were as thin as my wrists, and I have thin wrists. So that it absolutely broke my heart to see her. And during that time we had just a new boy arrived, and he was a blind boy living in Featherstale, and he was 4 years of age at this point, or just turned 4, so he was still small, but he was blind and had Asperger's syndrome, so he was hitting himself, and he was very hard, like it was very difficult for him to calm down and to find relaxation. And there's a bench here. I think I'm going to stop and record here. And this little boy with Asperger and who was born blind, he somehow really found a spot in my heart immediately. And I somehow managed to convince John, who was working as, the head of the family really, and the main driving force in everything. And somehow I convinced him that it was a good idea to try him in our house so that he could find more relaxation, because I believed that there was too much noise for him in the other room, and that he needed more stillness to find his center. And we did that for a couple of days, but John was totally exhausted, and bless him for going through that idea with me. But I was really grateful for this time, because it was beautiful for me to have this experience of having him so close with me, and I was playing him music, and I could see how he was really calming down with that in this environment where there was more stillness and with calming music. And I could see how he was benefiting from that, and we continued that when he went back to the children's home, like to their house where they were sleeping. And we also since then made sure that he always has like one caregiver who's particularly focused on him and with him, and that he has this one person to bond with who's caring for him and who's making sure that he has like an anchor in this world, because I feel like that was the biggest need for him. And it's just beautiful and heartbreaking to see where the children are coming from and where they are going to. And this is the absolute biggest blessing of Featherstale, that we have been able and we are still able, and we hope that you all are able with us to see how the children are finding hope and a home in Featherstale, where whilst before they often experienced a life that we can not even begin to imagine here in the West most of the time. And it is literally, it's as the world, like John uses these words sometimes. He says it's like the world has forgotten the children, and this is true. This is how it feels. It feels like the world has forgotten these children sometimes, and they're going through things that we cannot imagine. Like, we have found children that are tied up. We have found children that are sexually abused. We found children that are tried to be starved to death, or that were used in witch doctor ceremonies. And these are children. These are children like our children, like everybody's children, like any children born in the world. You know, it doesn't matter where we are born. We don't particularly choose where we are born. We are brought in this world, and we are, as children, we just have to surrender to where we are and to what our situation is. And children are so full of light and so full of joy, and there's so much love and sparkle in every child. And this is the energy that you enter when you enter Featherstale and the homes. It truly has always, like in the beginning until now, it has always been the same way, that when you enter the children's home in Featherstale, especially during the evening time when everything is like calming down, there is this beautiful energy there, and this beautiful love that you can literally touch and feel, because it's in everywhere, and you can sense it in the children, in their smile, in their how they're getting tucked in, and how they are just grateful to be there, I feel. And it is so important that we constantly see how we can improve their life and how we can improve their living circumstances, even in Featherstale, because there's always something that we can do better, I believe. And I'm just grateful that this place exists, because I have seen so many lives been transformed there, and I'm still witnessing the lives being transformed. Sadly, by now we also had to say goodbye already to some children, because children with special needs often don't have a very long life expectation, or at least it happens that children sadly pass away before, like at a young age. And that happened to several of our children, sadly too, or several, I mean some of our children. And I know that they're now probably the biggest guardian angels for all the other children, and those that we are still yet to meet and who are still yet to come. I hope that they can go to these children and whisper to them that they should not worry and that we are going to come, that they will lead us to them. And I'm glad that we can do this together as a global family. I'm glad that we can, as a global family, reach these children and tell them that they are not forgotten, that we are here, and that God can work through us, because that's all that we can do, I believe, to make this world a better place. And I remember when I was visiting here in Germany, and I had been talking to some relatives who were questioning what I was able to bring to Tanzania to some degree, I believe. And I remember that I was talking to my mother, and she was telling me, and even if it is that you just can every day make one of the children smile, then that's worth being there. I remember this quite well, because for me, at that point, whilst I was still struggling to find my feet and find out what I was able to bring to these children and to this life that God had led me to, this was quite profound and beautiful for me, because yes, that was exactly what made every day brilliant for me, that I was able to go and see the children and that they were happy to see me and smiling at me, and I was able to give them my love and my care. And that was it for that moment, at that time. That was quite what I needed to hear, and what was quite bringing it to the point. By now, I can say that I can do more than that, because I can be a voice for these children too. Especially not being there right now all the time anymore, whilst I'm not being able to give my love in this direct way where I'm giving my love through care, through touching the children, and through caring for them as a mother. I can still do that as a guardian from afar, and this is why I'm doing these videos, in truth. Like, this is why I'm doing this, because these children need a voice, and these children need more voices than just one voice. And God has blessed John with his amazing gift to speak and reach so many people and create so much hope and peace in this world. And if God believes that I can too become a voice for these children, or I am already a voice. It's not something that I have to become, but I am here and ready for God to use me in this way, and I'm happy to give everything that I have for these children, because they need us, and they need people to work through for God, because otherwise the children who are right now still locked in the dark, or tied up with the animals, or wherever they are, and whatever they have to go through, whatever they are waiting for, however this day will pan out for them, I know that my voice can make a difference, and I'm not going to keep quiet, and I need to use my voice for that. This is what God told me. And especially living here and being able to raise 2 children in such a blessed environment, and in such abundance here in the West, and such comfort. It breaks my heart every day, because every day I can see what every child deserves and what every child should have access to, and that is love and care, and a home that is safe. And this is what I want to make sure that these children have, because if I can do that for my children, then I can do that for more children. And I believe that together we can all do that for all of the children in the world. And that is a beautiful sight, I believe, to have in mind. And it's absolutely phenomenal for me to see that by now we're already building another children's village in Dodoma. It's brilliant to see that we are still meeting new children, and that there are still children that were brought to us and that God is leading us to, that need us and our help, and that God even entrusted us with this new exciting part of our journey, where we are able to build a new children's village together as a global family for these children. And we have already like a list of children in Dodoma who need to come into our care, and I can't wait for our team to hit the ground running, because we're going to bring change also there. And the children's village in Dodoma is going to be much bigger than what we have created so far and what God created so far. And it's going to have not only children's homes, but it's going to have adult special needs accommodation, because the children are going to, most likely are going to stay with us until they're older, and we want to bring them into independent living as much as possible, with little raised gardens in front of their rooms, and where single mothers with special needs children can live close to the children, to the older special needs young adults and adults, so that they can support each other and that they have an actual community. And that together with the homes, and then we want to have a therapy center where they can get access to physiotherapy and occupational therapy and sensory therapy, music therapy, art therapy. And we want to have vocational training places where they can do crafts and where they can create jams or do cooking or whatever they want to get involved in, so that they are valuable for their community and for this eco community that we're going to build there. And this is exciting. Like this is unbelievable, because right now when you can see like the land there was nothing on the land. We even had to, everything had to be brought there. There was no water, there was no electricity, and everything we're bringing to this land, or we have brought to the land. And now we are close to completion of the first children's home there, and this is like the first steps, but this is going to be big and exciting. And I'm so excited to have so many people and new people, like all of you guys who are already part of our family, but also all these new people that are going to join our family on this path, because as we meet more children, I know that there's also more people coming to join our global family to reach these children and to support them and to help them into their real home, the home that God created for them, that God is creating for them right now with our help. And I'm excited for this, and I'm excited to have you all as part of our journey there, and I'm excited to keep you updated and to show you what's going to happen. And I cannot wait for all the little lives that are going to find a home there, because if Featherstale can be that with all our homes in the north of Tanzania, now it's close to 200 children, then what are we going to be able to do in Dodoma on this land that can for sure home 500 children? Like, how many lives can we change from in the country, and how many lives can we transform and bring into light and into joy, and how much beauty we can create there? It's brilliant. And on that note, I know that John started this, or that we started the 2000 Strong. And the 2000 Strong is a request for people to join us in this journey and to become part of this new children's village and this new endeavor that we're starting on. And the 2000 Strong is asking you all guys who want to join and who feel compelled to join, to raise every month $25 until the end of the year, so in total $100. And that together, if we get 2,000 people, 2,000 strong together, that we can raise enough to to do a major step in the children's village, and it won't be the full completion, but it will set everything up that it's as good as Featherstale is, and then we are going to expand even bigger on it, of course, but to make it really like every one of us can be part of this and make a huge change and bring this will of God into existence. And if you are interested in joining and becoming part of the 2000 Strong, please do, and please get involved, because I mean, this is just the best thing that I can do with my life, and I'm sure that there might be people out there who would like to join this journey from us and from the children, and that God, the journey that God is creating here for all of us to be the change that we want to see and bring healing into this world. So, much love, guys. I hope that you have a wonderful day and a beautiful day, and that you can remember today that we are so blessed, and God loves us so much, and that as the sun shines on our skin or the wind blows through our hair and on our face, then we can remember that this is life, and that this is what it means to be human, to feel our heart and to feel the moment.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
This is street music.
Amaya ke kwe salfius, amaya mona ekindoki. Amaya ke kwe salfius, amaya mona ekindoki. Mona wokwe, alecha kwe kwe, kambale, kuke kapae, jerewo maye, jerewo kula kape. Amaya ke kwe salfius, amaya mona ekindoki. Amaya ke kwe salfius, amaya mona